Not all heroes wear capes, and not all trolls live under bridges. A lot of the time an internet troll is someone that you wouldn't expect. Right now I'm about to count down the top 10 notorious internet trolls who were exposed. Buckle up. What is good, fam? You are watching IO. I'm Charlotte Dobre, and I want to know, have you guys ever been the victim of an internet troll? Tell me your stories down in the comments, and if you're new here, subscribe for the latest trending news updates and spiciest top 10 lists on YouTube, and follow the IO team on social media. Without further delay, let's get into this. In at number 10 we have Benjamin Shriduenku, I think that's what your name is. Benjamin is a science fiction writer who published several short stories and was gaining a fair bit of recognition online. But in 2014 she was exposed as being a notorious internet troll. She would write under the pseudonym Winterfox on her live journal account for more than 10 years. She also wrote a book review blog called This Requires Only That You Hate. On this blog she would criticize other authors. This wasn't just some light, healthy, constructive criticism. Benjamin would launch attacks against writers, and whenever someone posted a positive review of their books, she would harass the commenters. It is alleged that she also contributed to the suicide of a British author after they got into a nasty fight online. After her identity was exposed, she shut down Requires Hate. No one knows if the name she was continuing to publish science fiction under is her real identity or not. In at number 9 we have Clemmie Hooper. You may recognize Clemmie Hooper from a recent scandal we covered on IO. Clemmie Hooper is a mommy blogger and influencer who was living a double life as an internet troll. She would go onto forums and talk badly about other mommy influencers who thought she was their friend. Wow, I don't even know what I would do if I found out one of my haters was actually a really close friend of mine. That's like the ultimate betrayal, almost as bad as like stealing a boyfriend. So she would post under the username Alice in Wonderlust, and even called her own husband a class A dick. Eventually people started to see parallels between the account and Clemmie Hooper. For example, Alice in Wonderlust posted about being on vacation in the Caribbean at the same time as Clemmie. Alice in Wonderlust also never talked badly about Clemmie, only about every other influencer. Another mommy blogger, Laura Rutherford, posted on her Instagram a photo of the white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, urging her to come forward. Clemmie then admitted to everything and said she was motivated to create a fake persona after she read mean comments about her and her family online. So she wanted to post under a fake name to change people's perspective of her, and it got really out of control. Her account, Mother of Daughters, is no longer active. In at 8 we have Rimell. Back in 2011, Frankie Markuze, who was on the TV show The X Factor, was targeted by a slew of online trolls on Facebook. But it wasn't only Frankie who got the shit end of the stick. Anyone who voiced their support for her also got trolled. A woman named Nicola Brooks posted a message of support about Markuze on Facebook, and she started to get trolled too. The harassment went on for 2 years. The trolls did things like post Brooks' home address and pictures of her daughter. Then someone made a fake account using her photo and sent suggestive messages to children. Brooks tried to go to the police, but they wouldn't help her. So she went to court and subpoenaed Facebook in order to get the information of the troll, who turned out to be Rimell, a police officer. Rimell never faced charges because the Sussex police alleged that Brooks talked back to the trolls, which was against the advice of the Sussex police. She denied that anything like that ever happened. Rimell never faced repercussions. In at 7 we have Robert Ambridge. Robert Ambridge, otherwise known as Britain's vilest troll, is an Englishman who used to tweet under the handle Old Holborn. He became quite popular on Twitter for his offensive jokes. They weren't jokes. He basically joked about the murder of a young boy named James Bulger. Old Holborn also became synonymous with this pig mask used to conceal his true identity. At the time he was exposed, he was a 51-year-old father of 6. He called himself a satirical terrorist, and he justified his actions saying, "It's not my responsibility what other people find upsetting. I didn't target anyone, I didn't send an email. They chose to read what I wrote. If they don't like it, they should turn it off. I don't care what people find offensive." In April of 2014, he took the jokes a little too far, and he joked that Liverpool councillor Jake Morrison was a pedophile, and then Morrison contacted police. They didn't file charges, but once his identity was exposed, people called and threatened the recruitment office he worked at. He has since left the company. At number 6 now we have Darren Burton. Darren Burton went by the handle Nimrod Severn on Facebook. This guy was a real peach. He would go and find tribute pages for people who died and post rotten piss instead of rest in peace, sometimes using racial slurs if the person who died was a person of color. Nimrod Severn was outed by a journalist from BBC Panorama. His real name is Darren Burton. He's a railroad worker from Cardiff who dodged questions at first but eventually admitted that he was Severn. He didn't care that he hurts people. He said on Facebook in an open forum that he's entitled to his opinion. Okay, boomer. At At number 5, we have Sean Duffy. Yet another internet troll whose favorite pastime was to target the Facebook tribute pages of dead teenagers. His campaign began with 16-year-old Haley Bates when she died in a car crash back in 2010. He posted photos of her on her tribute page where he drew her eyes crossed out and stitches on her mouth. He also harassed Haley's family. Then he targeted 14-year-old Lauren Drew, who died from an epilepsy attack in 2011. He posted photos mocking her on the page, and for Mother's Day he posted a YouTube video that showed a picture of a coffin with the words "Happy Mother's Day." That's yucky. But the harassment didn't end there. He targeted 15-year-old Natasha McBride, who committed suicide because she was so severely bullied. He created his own Facebook page called Tasha the Tank Engine. The profile photo was a photo of Natasha superimposed on Thomas the Tank Engine. Natasha died by throwing herself under a train. Unlike other trolls on this list, Duffy did face jail time. He was a 25-year-old alcoholic with Asperger's syndrome who would sit on his computer, troll, and drink all day long. He got 18 weeks for making malicious posts against Natasha McBride. At number 4 now we have Charles Fitch. Charles Fitch was an eBay troll, and he also had a YouTube channel called eBay is a Joke. The YouTube channel ended up being terminated for repeated or severe violations of their community guidelines. Before it was terminated though, he would post videos that showed him wearing a Guy Fawkes mask, and he would talk about eBay conspiracy theories. What the hell even is an eBay conspiracy theory, you ask? Fitch basically said that eBay was a scam and he would target small businesses. He would participate in their auctions, put in the highest bid, not pay, and then give the business a bad review. That's such a f***ed up pastime. Like, who the f*** has that much time on their hands? Fitch was eventually tracked down in 2013 by Fox News 2 reporter Rob Walchek and private investigators he hired. How did they find him? He was selling audio of his pranked calls he made to eBay on Amazon, which were copyrighted under his real name. Classic. In at 3 now we have Michael Brutsch. You're probably familiar with Reddit, and if you are, you know that there are moderators for subreddits. Many subreddits used to be moderated by someone who went by the username Violent Acres. And yeah, that guy was pretty gross to say the least, and you could tell from the subreddits he moderated, which included pics of dead kids, Jewmerica, and Jailbait, where he would post photos of young girls in bathing suits. Jailbait was an extremely popular subreddit, but ended up being shut down after it was called out by Anderson Cooper in 2011. The next year, in 2012, a writer outed Violent Acres' real identity, Michael Brutsch, computer programmer. He was subsequently fired from his job after the interview aired, and he lost his health insurance that paid for his disabled wife, and he also nearly lost his house. He apologized in an interview with CNN, sort of. Interestingly, Reddit once gave him an award for, quote, making significant contributions to Reddit, an award they later apologized to CNN for. In at 2, Dennis Markuze. Back in the 1990s, renowned scientists and well-known atheists in North America started receiving emails from someone called David Mabus. The emails were often threatening, beheadings, mutilations, that sort of thing. That old hat. The emails were very strange. At first they were well written, but by the end of the email they would turn into incoherent rants, which made many of the people who received these emails think the writer was not, like, right in the head. In 2011, Mabus then joined Twitter and continued with his harassment. He used hundreds of accounts to threaten anyone who doubted the existence of God. It was found out that he lived in Montreal, so people urged the Montreal police to do something about him by starting an online petition. He was arrested and identified as Dennis Markuze, who had a history of mental health problems and got a suspended sentence. He continued to harass people online and then was arrested again. This time he threatened a police officer. He pled guilty to threatening an officer, harassment, and violating his probation. And at number 1 on our list we have Brenda Leyland. One of the better known cases of a notorious internet troll, this one involves Madeleine McCann, the 3-year-old girl who went missing on a family vacation to Portugal. If you followed that case, you know that Madeleine McCann's parents were accused of participating in the kidnapping of their own daughter by both the Portuguese police and this woman. Chief of Portuguese Police Goncalo Amaral was ordered to pay damages of 500,000 euros to the McCanns for claiming in his book that they faked Madeleine's kidnapping and hid her body. Another person who also believed in this theory was Brenda Leyland, who was tweeting under the name Sweepy Face. Over the course of a couple of years, she tweeted about 2,200 times. 19% of those tweets were about the McCanns. She would try to harass them into admitting that they had staged the kidnapping of their daughter. Leyland was outed in 2014 by a reporter from Sky News. In the interview, she said she was allowed to use her Twitter to harass the McCanns if she wanted. She seemed unbothered when she was told that a file containing the history of her tweets was given to Scotland Yard. She committed suicide a few days later by overdosing on helium. Well guys, there you have it. Did I miss anyone? Do you want a part 2? Let me know down in the comments, and while you do that, I'm gonna respond to some of your past comments. Charles said, I have an idea for a video. Top 10 times Charlotte has burped. I think I burped like 10 times just in this filming. Can Can we do that top 10 times Charlotte has burped? I know Dylan has a few of my burps. Channy G said, laugh so much I started choking on my croissant. Oh. Croissant. Don't die, my dear. I wouldn't like that. Uchiha said, InformOverload is my alarm clock in the morning here in Melbourne. Oh, that's cute. I like you. Alright, that is it for me. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you in the bonus content. In at number 10 we have Benjamin. I don't even know what the f your name is, buddy. Benjamin Sriduenko. Benjamin Sriduenko published several short stories. Published several short stories and was gaining a fair bit of. Benjamin is a science fiction writer who published several short stories and was gaining a bit. Oh my god, sorry guys. Oh my god, I don't know what's happening. Multiple top 10s in a row. It's hard. Because the Sussex police. How's it going? Good. Target the Facebook tribute pages of dead. Yet another you. It's so hard to film ahead and then like work on scripts that you've written far in the past. It's like, what did I even write here? That's such a f***ed up pastime. Like, who the f*** has that much time on their hands? What are you doing? Jesus Christ. So many better things to do. I know, man. You must be bored as hell. Fox News 2 reporter Wob Walchek, which were copyrighted under his real name. Classic. You f***ed up. Hurry up. In at 3 now we have Michael Brutsch. I don't know, I don't know if that's actually how I Brutsch. Yeah, f it. Right in the head. That pun was very intended. I wrote right the right away.